Welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here with us to learn a little more about this book, Exodus. It's the second book of Moses, and its story starts exactly following the events of the end of Genesis, the first book of the Bible. In this first book, we are informed that Jacob and his family, about 70 people, moved to Egypt to live there with Joseph. A few centuries later, a new pharaoh who did not know the story of Israel assumes power and enslaves these people. So the time comes when God decides to set his people free, and Exodus tells exactly this story. Exodus means departure or immigration. So this book tells the story of how Israel left Egypt and were no longer slaves. This book can be divided in two parts. The first part is a historical narrative that shows how God called Moses, sent plagues, and set his people free and conducted them with a lot of power and many miracles to Mount Sinai. The second part is about the instructions Moses receives from God at the top of the mount, not only for the priesthood or the tabernacle that is built right after, but also some instructions about laws, relationships, and how the people should deal with itself, with God, and their brothers and sisters. In this book, the God of Israel is reminded as the God who brought us out of Egypt by the power of his mighty hand and powerful arm. This expression is repeated throughout the Old Testament, and it's based on the events we read about in Exodus. The presence of Jesus can somehow be seen in some texts in some parts of this book. For example, in the last of the 10 plagues, when a perfect lamb is sacrificed and its blood is the identification of God's people and set those people free from slavery and death, for God did not permit the death angel to enter the houses identified with the blood of the lamb. The water that gushed out of the rock and people were able to drink is also a reference to Christ, the living water. Also, the manna, the bread God sent from heaven to support the people, is yet another reference to Jesus, the true manna, living bread, who came from heaven. There is a very interesting analogy between the book of Exodus and our Christian life. The people of Israel lived as slaves in Egypt, while we lived as slaves of sin. During that time, God sent someone to set them free, Moses. And God also sent someone to set us free, Jesus. Right at the beginning of their path, the people needed to cross the Red Sea. And we also need to face the waters in the beginning of our path as we are baptized. Starting there, the people of Israel starts walking through the desert on a journey loaded with trouble, but also victories, seeing miracles and experiencing firsthand God's power. It's just like us. In our journey, we also have our struggles, but also face God's power and wonders. The people of Israel walked through the desert, but not without a destiny. They were going to a promised land. They were going to Canaan, the land God had announced would be theirs. And here, we are also heading to our heavenly Canaan, our promised land. When the people of Israel were very close to Canaan, they had to cross the Jordan River, just like we have to face death, cross that river, to finally enter the promised land. There are many truly interesting analogies that show that this book, more than just historical, is also about our lives today. The verse I would like to highlight is Exodus 33, verse 15, when Moses tells God, "If you don't personally go with us, don't make us leave this place." This prayer needs to be our prayer too, all the time. Lord, if you don't go with us, we don't even want to go. If we don't have your approval, we don't even want to risk doing it. So God, please come with us, walk with us. Because the truth is, we can't walk without God. We can't live without Him. and His presence is mandatory for our walk and our happiness. So may we also repeat this prayer of Moses: God, if you don't go with us, we don't even want to live one single day. If you don't go with us, we don't want to take a single step in our lives. But since we do want to live tomorrow and still have many steps to take, we ask, God, come with us. Walk with us. We need you. If you liked the summary and highlight, please like, subscribe, and comment. Feel free to share it with other people and subscribe to our channel to receive all the summaries and highlights that are yet to come. It's very good to have you here. See you later. God bless you.